tune.
I think that's us.
Hello.
Right, so we're playing Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island, which is one of my absolute favourite games. I remember when it came out, I was probably in primary 6 at school.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we rented it from Global Video.
Oh my god, really?
Do you remember Global Video?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I think we had a video drive-in though in East Kilbride. Is that what it was called?
A video drive-in?
I'm pretty sure that... No, like, I think the name of the company was...
Video drive-in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And I used to, because my primary school was quite close to my house, I used to go home at lunchtime and play it for like half an hour before going back to school. And we're going to skip all this, but the basic story is that Mario and Luigi are babies.
Mm-hmm.
And the stork is taking them to their parents. But Kamek, the Magic Koopa, sort of tries to grab the babies, and they fall onto Yoshi's Island. And all the Yoshis find the babies, and they say, "Let's get the babies home." And you control Yoshi as he.
That's totes adorbs.
Here we go. This is all the Yoshis in the film Mario and Luigi.
I didn't know Mario and Luigi were twins.
Yeah, they're the Mario brothers.
But I mean, doesn't Mario look older to you?
He looks shorter and fatter, and probably balder.
Does he still have a mustache in this? Looks like
It'd be so good if he did. Music's great as well.
Oh.
The bond between the twins informs each of them where the other is. The Yoshis decide to carry the baby to his destination via a relay system.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's very in-depth. Now begins a new adventure for the Yoshis and baby Mario.
Did you know that my mum's a twin?
No, I didn't.
She's got a twin brother, and apparently, like, my mum has bad eyesight, and apparently when my mum and my Uncle Kenny were babies, Kenny had really bad conjunctivitis, and then when my mum got glasses, finally, his conjunctivitis went away.
Ooh.
Spooky, I know. So maybe there is a special creepy bond between Mario and Luigi.
Yeah, I mean... that's probably the least sort of creepy thing about the two of them. I'm playing this, warning, I'm not playing this on a Super Nintendo. So I'm using an Xbox controller, so if I do some really stupid stuff, that's the controller's fault. It's not me. Okay, here we go.
I'm still going to totally judge you.
This is
call you a noob.
Yeah. No, this is a great game, and round about, I think before this game came out, Donkey Kong Country had come out, which is also like a Nintendo-type platformer, although it was actually made by Rare, which was a British company. And it had this sort of like brand new 3D look to it, and everybody was like, "Whoa, it's like 3D, but it's on a Super Nintendo. I thought only PlayStation could do that." And the story goes, I don't know how true this is, but the story goes that Nintendo wanted Shigeru Miyamoto, the creator of Mario and Zelda and everything, they wanted him to go for that kind of style. And in response, he decided to make Yoshi's Island look like a little kid's picture book instead. And time has proven him right, because I think it's an absolutely gorgeous game. It's so nice to look at. Music's fantastic. And yeah, it's just a platform. It's so inventive, like, compared to a lot of other ones. So many different like little gameplay ideas and things.
I've never even seen Yoshi's Island. I've never seen it being played before, or played it well.
Yeah, I mean, it was somewhat successful, but like it's not nearly as famous as something like as something like Sonic or like the other Mario games or Donkey Kong or all those other famous platformers from the 90s. I think it's because it came out like the PlayStation had already been out for like a year and a half at that point, so nobody really cared about
like 2D
Nintendo Mario platformers,
Yeah.
It was before Mario 64 had come out, so Mario hadn't gone 3D yet.
Yeah,
so.
But I mean, obviously, as you say, like the aesthetics are cool, and that sort of timelessness, and
totally.
But it's funny. Do you remember when I was like, "Oh, I used to play this great game called Tomba," And then we spent ages setting up the PlayStation, and then when I saw it again, I was like, oh, I remember the graphics being pretty good.
Yeah.
And then it was the worst thing we've ever seen.
Yeah,
It was terrible.
There's certain things you just shouldn't go back to.
Yeah, that's the lesson I learned.
That's the little jump that you can do. You can do this kind of like little floaty jump to help you do things. I've run out of eggs. So yeah, a big gameplay mechanic in this is that you can eat enemies and turn them into eggs that you can then shoot. And you can also get eggs from these special blocks.
Okay.
So, Roslyn, how have you been?
Oh, since last time we made a podcast.
Oh yeah, that was like 2 years ago.
I can't actually remember. Do you know? I do know when it was. It was New Year had just happened, and David Bowie had just died.
Right, yeah.
So we can put it. We can date this. Oh, it's really sweet.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, goodbye. But
I don't think anyone famous has died this time, have they?
John Mahoney.
Oh, John Mahoney, of course.
The most famous person, I'm concerned about at the moment. For John Mahoney. Marty.
How are you going to feel when Kelsey Grammer dies?
But I don't know Kelsey Grammer.
But you don't know John Mahoney either.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, Fraser's basically dead. That's a shame.
He's dead to me.
What a shame. Fraser died after Series 8. We had this conversation already.
Yeah.
No, this is a bit grim. We should talk about something nice and happy.
You played Dungeons and Dragons for the first time.
That was great. Yeah, we can talk about that. Maybe you could ask me some more questions in the style of Dungeon Master. No, don't.
You find yourself on Yoshi's Island.
No.
There's a small baby on your back. You see really bizarre-looking hills in the background and little flowers running and singing songs. Look.
It's like I've taken too much acid this time.
Oh, there is actually a part in this game where you do sort of take acid.
Mm-hmm. Is it that?
Yeah, it's like this notorious scene where it's like there's these sort of like floating. I don't know what you call them. Oh shit. Floating. Like, what do you call those things? Not dandelions. The things that you sort of blow and all the little seeds go away. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, dandelions.
I thought dandelions were yellow.
Yeah, but then
dandelions look like that guy right there.
Yeah, but dandelion, that's a sunflower. But then dandelions they are yellow and they look kind of ugly. But then they go, their seeds are the things that blow away. On little. God, I don't know anything about. What you call that? Horticulture.
Botany.
Botany. But anyway, so what? Yeah, let's just presume they're dandelions.
Okay,
what was the story?
Yeah, you touch these like floating dandelion-looking things, and Yoshi very obviously gets super high, and the screen goes all mental.
Really?
Yeah. We'll get there.
Okay, but do you know?
Perfect score.
Well done.
Took me way longer to do that than it should have.
How many times have you played this? Do you think?
The whole game.
Yes.
Not as many as you'd think. Not like with Super Mario World 1 I've played like. Must be literally
like speed records.
Yeah, well, no, not speed records, but literally about 100 times by now. Whereas this, we never actually owned it. I never had it as a kid. That's why it's called Watch Out Below.
Again.
Yes. Well, games were really expensive back then. It was like £60.
But was it really? But it was less expensive to rent them and then complete them.
Yeah, I mean, if you can complete them fast enough. Oh Jesus! If you can complete them fast enough.
Oh,
Jesus!
Sorry, excuse me. No. They're totally creepy.
Jeez, this is much harder than I remembered it being. I think it's hard. It's easier if you just race through it. But
we also have to sort of think of something fun to talk about. But we were talking about something fun. We were thinking. In fact, I had two things to say.
Yes.
And one of them was about. We'll talk about Dungeons and Dragons later.
Yeah.
But the other thing I had to say was, do you remember that Oliver Postgate episode of Charlie Brooker? You know how he did the tribute?
I don't
you know
really
what you've made?
Brooker.
Do you not?
No.
Oh. But you used to read his stuff.
Yeah, I read the fuck out of his stuff.
Uh-huh.
He wrote for PC Zone, but I've basically never watched anything he's done.
Really? Okay, well I can highly recommend
Yeah, everyone does. I'm sure it's great.
It is great.
He's a very talented guy. So.
So my point was, he made this tribute thing to Oliver Postgate, who made Bagpuss and the Clangers and everything.
Okay.
And it was a really lovely episode, but his main criticism was like, do you know, I hate it when people, say, oh my god, these guys must have been so high.
Yeah, I hate that.
When they wrote this, and it's like, no, they probably weren't, because they actually fucking made something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Charlie Brooker says, just as a disclaimer. It's not mine. Oh.
Oh yeah, you can turn into like other vehicles.
Oh my god.
They must have been so high when they made this.
Totally high.
Yeah, no, I hate that too. It's like you can't have any kind of a creative or interesting or weird idea without people immediately accusing you of being some huge stoner.
Yeah.
Or something. I do not remember where anything is in this game. Right, we're obviously not going for the 100% on each level anymore.
Okay. Anymore.
It's just going to take forever.
Okay. Well, that was my point. So we can move on to the Dungeons and Dragons thing.
Okay. Are we on a schedule? I don't know. We can move on to that now. Well, that's enough about Oliver Northgate.
Postgate?
Postgate, okay.
But anyway. What was it? Oh, fuck. Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
I really enjoyed playing it, but then I think I totally took the liberty with, I don't know.
What, you mean you took the piss?
No, not the piss.
I took the liberty.
No, but I don't know.
Okay, this is a bonus round. If you get 3 Marios, you get 5 extra lives.
Okay.
If you get 2, you get 2 extra lives. If you get 1, you get 1 extra life.
Okay.
Which one should I pick?
The middle one.
Middle one. That's a Mario.
Oh. I love this. I'm so addicted to scratch cards.
Yeah, I know. They're the best.
I know.
I really have to stop myself from buying them. Did you know I won £100 on the scratch card?
Did you?
Yeah,
well done.
Yeah.
That's great.
It was one of those ones where it's like one of the £2 ones where there's like 3 separate games on them, and I just won money from every single game.
No, really?
Yeah, every single one I uncovered gave me more money, and it all added up to £100.
That's great. Did you feel like a huge winner, like
yeah,
just in life in general?
Yeah.
Like Chris and I went through a phase of buying each other scratch cards as like gifts whenever we went between Edinburgh and Glasgow.
Yeah.
And we generally won. For some reason, like I think it was just a happy time, and we're like, oh my god, we're such winners. But we always won like bus fare, which we were like such a silly sign or something, but it's not a sign.
Next one.
Top left.
That's a Mario.
Oh, I'm nervous. Okay.
Well, I've already got 2 extra lives. That's pretty good.
Okay. But the third one's gonna be bottom left.
Bottom left.
Oh, I don't know.
No.
Ah, crumbs.
Oh no,
it is a Mario.
Hey!
It was just an indicator of a cross.
Yeah, it kind of confused me a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. We should go out and get a scratch card.
Feeling lucky.
Yeah.
But also, we found a scratch card in Chris's old jacket pocket that was all crumpled up. That was £30. But I remember when we won that, it was like one of these ones where you get like we won a tenner, and then it's like scratch off here to get like your multiplier, and we got like a ×3 multiplier. So we're like, yeah, it's 30 quid. And then obviously we forgot to hand it in or whatever, and then we found it when we needed £30 for something.
Oh.
Well, we didn't need £30. We bought rum with it. We were looking after Toby's dogs in the countryside, and he always makes this thing called grog, which is basically rum and tea with sugar.
Uh-huh.
It's like a sailor thing, apparently, like the Hamburg grog.
I thought you said frog.
No.
Right, okay. Yeah,
it's
grog.
Like
I've had grog. Like, usually in, like, pirate things.
Yeah,
exactly. Pirates
exactly.
drink rum and grog. I always kind of got the idea of grog. Maybe it's just because... I mean, isn't grog, like, slang for spitting or something?
I think that's in Monkey Island. Oh, yeah, no, it is. No, grog... Yeah, but that's disgusting. We don't really need to talk about that. It's horrible.
But because of that, whenever somebody talked about, and like TV shows, and talked about like drinking me grog, I always imagined it as like a really watery type of beer.
That's disgusting.
Because of that.
I see. No, but did you ever play Monkey Island?
No, you know, I'm the one person in history that doesn't like those fucking games.
Like point and click games.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have anything particularly against Monkey Island. I just don't like point.
Yeah.
To me, it feels like the kind of thing that people like when they're kids, because it's
you
like
can't really get it wrong.
yeah,
really,
and
like
you click on stuff and it reacts to you clicking on it.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like when I was
It's
a kid,
ideal.
that's why I played Kid Pix when I was a kid. Like, to me, Kid Pix was the most fun anyone could have, just because when I clicked on stuff, it made noises and flashed. And things. So yeah, it doesn't really feel much like a game to me.
But then it is though.
Because you're always just randomly trying shit.
That's
true. You don't really know what you're doing. You're just like, oh, I'll use this item on this item, and hopefully that will get me any further. It's just not very satisfying.
But the happy thing about Monkey Island though was there was a healthy mixture of like these puzzles that did kind of make logical sense, but on the other hand there was stupid stuff like use rubber chicken with pulley in the middle on
That's exactly
pulley.
what I'm talking about. So yeah, it's very amusing when you see the little animation of how they use the rubber chicken on the pulley. But
yeah, to get there it was like a nightmare. But like so this would have been 1995 or something. My dad and my Auntie Maggie played it on the Amiga, and they spent months and months and months, and it must have been so frustrating. But obviously they didn't have the internet, they didn't have a walkthrough.
There's no way to look it up.
Yeah, they just had to figure it out. And I think there was some really, really daft puzzles. I don't know, like all these timed ones where you had to follow the guy like through the woods, and I don't know. And it just took so long, and if you got it wrong, like one step wrong, then you had to go way back to the start, and it must have just, how could that have been fun? But then, you know.
What
are you doing here?
It's a bonus game, and I think I'm going to lose. No!
Noob. No, I don't like saying that word. I've never really said it in real life before.
What, noob?
Noob.
Alright, let's get out of this fucking cave. I never liked the caves in this game because the music isn't as good.
Oh.
Like, the rest of the music's like really happy and upbeat.
Yeah.
And this is like... I mean, it's great music, but...
It's like an album track.
Yeah. Or a B-side.
A B-side.
And, you know, the guitarist has got a real soft spot for that one.
No.
But nobody else likes it, which is why it was relegated to the Rarities compilation.
Oh. For super fans.
Yeah, super fans only. I need to get up there.
You can do it.
You can do it, put your back into it.
What is Yoshi?
A dinosaur.
Oh.
I loved Yoshi when I was a kid.
Would you say that Mario was one of your favourite things? Like the kind of, you know, when you were a child?
Oh, when I was a child, totally. Yeah, I loved Mario to bits. Now it's more of like a comfort thing. Yeah. You know, it's just something that reminds me of being a kid. Things were much simpler and I wasn't as jaded and cynical, especially about games. You know? Now I'm like a real grump when it comes to games. They have to be like really amazing or, for God's sake, really amazing or inventive or be pushing the medium forward or something. Really? Or clever or something like that. Back then I was usually just happy to be playing any games. Oh, there we go. Gotcha.
Well...
Oh, jeez. This is not going well. I've only got 3 left. Jeez, oh.
At least you won 5, thanks to me.
Yeah. No, you don't lose lives like that. It counts down a timer.
Oh,
and if the timer reaches 0, you lose a life.
Okay.
Hey, bonus game.
Well, can you give me an example of something that's come out recently that you've really, really enjoyed?
Euro Truck Simulator.
Oh my god.
God, I can't even remember what the most recent game I really enjoyed was. Flip cards. Okay.
What's that?
This is the ones where...
Oh, I see. I thought you meant that was like an example of a recent game that
Flip cards.
You've enjoyed.
Game.
Is this just pairs?
God, I don't know. Pick
Go
one.
for it. Met that one.
Oh my god. Pretty good.
Okay, down. That one.
Uh-oh.
Okay, left again. Yeah, there.
Oh.
What's the deal?
I don't know.
Oh, we lost in it.
I think you have to uncover as many good ones without uncovering any bad ones.
Good ones? Okay.
This is Bert the Bashful, isn't it? Bert the Bashful.
Bert?
Yeah.
Can I do a shout out?
To
Alan Burt,
who's Alan Burt?
my friend from high school.
And why are you doing a shout out to him?
Because it's Burt, the Bashful. And his
Okay.
name's Burt, Alan Burt.
Is he bashful?
Do the Burt
Oh,
man.
Jesus.
No, I don't think so. He's a A&E doctor guy.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Was he an insider?
He was, yeah. Do you remember him?
No, well, I didn't meet him, but I just
Uh-huh.
remember you saying you were hanging out with some doctors.
Yeah, that was him and his
Oh,
friends.
Jesus.
Don't lose the baby. No. Can we? Does he have a mustache?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure it doesn't.
Okay, so do you have an example of a recent game that you've really enjoyed?
A recent game that I've really enjoyed. No.
No, not at all. Really?
I just can't.
Do you hate
think of it.
everything
I don't
right
hate
now?
everything. It's just, you know, I think it's been a while since anything had like a really big impact on me.
Okay.
Where I was just like, that was really amazing, you know.
Do you know what? Okay, can. I don't
Skip
even
through
know
all
if
of this.
La la la.
How am I gonna get through there?
Because that one's crumbly?
Yeah, but I can't see myself to.
Maybe you should just.
Use that to judge where I am.
And go.
Which way am I facing? How the hell am I supposed to do this?
You're probably supposed to. You're not supposed to shoot with eggs that one that looks crumbly.
Yeah, but like I can't see.
Yeah, but then it's then a directional indicator thing.
Okay.
Go for it.
Yay! There we go.
Nice. Teamwork.
I should have got that middle ring. Because now if I lose, I'll be sent back to the beginning.
No.
These, those falling things were a big deal at the time.
Uh-huh.
Because it was like, oh, it's like
Hidden.
3D
Oh, I see.
effects. This is one of the few games to use a special chip called the Super Effects 2 chip,
Cool.
which allowed the Super Nintendo to do much more than it was actually capable of doing. Because that was kind of the cool thing about cartridges,
Uh-huh.
was that because they were just chips in plastic casings that you plugged into the thing, they could manufacture the games with extra chips on them to make the console more powerful. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
Whereas obviously with the CD or DVD or
Uh-huh.
Blu-ray, it's just you just get the game on it.
Yeah. Well remembered. So I played a game recently called, like Chris got it for me as a present just on Steam, and it's called I've forgotten. The Long Dark.
Oh yeah.
Have you played it or heard of it or?
Is it one of those survival
It
type
is,
games?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
where
like
you,
survival simulator, but I guess the nice thing about it is they're like no gimmicks, no zombies, no like apocalyptic thing. It's the quiet apocalypse, and it's like electricity's gone off or something, you know, and it's the horror of realizing that we can't just turn on lights or heating or blah blah blah, and everyone seems to have disappeared. And I think you only encounter one human. So far, I've only been playing it for not very long, but
Oh Jesus. Sorry,
yeah, I've only encountered one human. But to be honest, yeah, I got totally sucked in. In the first night you play, you know, it's obviously like a training sort of thing, but when you survive your first night, you're so proud of yourself because it's so like grim, and oh man, I'm sorry.
Oh, and I never went through the middle ring. I gotta start at the beginning. All right, I'll power through it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're really proud of getting through the first night.
Yeah, you know, because you build a fire and you like have to pull a thing out of your hand and. It's like that song you were playing earlier.
Which one?
Like Egyptian song.
You really
Untitled.
You're really doing me a service by saying I was playing a song. Noodling about in the guitar and hit a wrong note. And this is the great thing. What was it? Who said that? It's like an old jazz thing to say, is that repetition. What do you call it when you sort of like justify something? What's another word for like justify something? Legitimizes.
Okay.
Yeah. So like repetition legitimizes, in that, you know, if you hit a wrong note, if you hit it again, people will think, oh, that was intentional.
Oh God.
It was really jazzy explanations, you know. And that's basically what happened there. Is I hit a wrong note. I was in the wrong key or something, and I was like, oh, that sounds vaguely.
Oh really?
That sounds vaguely like Egyptian. Let's just keep doing that. And then
Well,
then he
sounded
started
great.
singing about Anubis. Because that's
Well,
the only Egyptian thing you know.
don't tell anyone. I'm a loser.
I'm a loser, baby. So why
So,
don't you kill me?
Anyway, so my chat that was about the Long Dark, I don't know, like, it's good, but then the storyline gets a bit daft. Like, you meet this old woman and she's like, I don't know, it's obviously trying something. It's trying really hard, and I think it is pretty DIY, or maybe it started off really DIY. And it's, you know, it looks great, and it's atmospheric, and the weather changes quite subtly, and the gameplay is really good. But I don't know, there's something about the storyline or the characters that just aren't really, you know, up to it.
Sorry. Well, what, do you find the experience quite hollow or something?
No, because it's more about that kind of 95% of it is you wandering and like creating a camp for yourself and moving on and trying to find your friend and everything. But like, so far I've only met one character, and she's called like the people that used to live here. They used to call me Grey Mother, and you can call me Grey Mother, and I'm quite grumpy and, you know, intimidating for some reason. But you're like... Are
you playing through like a Stephen King book or something?
No.
That's exactly what it fucking sounds
really?
like. Where's the call me Grey Mother?
Yeah.
Grey Mother was an ancient looking thing with dry papery skin.
Oh my god, yeah, maybe I...
You know.
Maybe it's just a... mate! Stephen King Simulator.
Stephen King Simulator, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
Great game, I'd play the fuck out of that.
Well... Maybe now you have a chance with The Long Dark, now available on Steam.
I think I might stop trying to kill that guy.
Okay.
Because he's killed me
Just
too many
move
times. I can't fall victim to the sunken cost fallacy.
I'm so sorry, no.
Have you heard of the sunken cost fallacy?
No.
This is one of those concepts that becomes really like popular on the internet to reference in conversation.
Okay.
You know, to make yourself look smart.
Okay.
And the sunken cost fallacy is assuming that just because you've put a lot of time or money or effort into something, that it's worth continuing with it to justify all the time, money or effort you've spent on it.
Okay.
You know, so if, like, for example, you're talking about the scratch cards earlier, is if you were to buy, like, 3 scratch cards, you know, and you waste your money, it's a fallacy to think, well, I just need to keep doing it until I win. You know, because if I keep doing it until I win, then all this money I've spent will be justified. But that's not necessarily true, because by the time you actually do win, you might not make enough money to
like this
win back, you know, or...
You're in the black? Is that... No, the red.
In the red is when you're losing.
And in the black is when you're in profit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure that's like some sort of accounting
is it?
thing. Yeah. Like they say that probably when did they use like red pen to signify that you were running at a deficit or something? Fuck off. Yeah, you just stay there. Stay there, come back up. Yes, this is the way to do it. And then that jumping about. Sorry, we're allowed to kill this guy now.
No, it's fine.
Now that I've cracked it.
Cracked it, like the hidden code.
Yep, just stand here and shoot him in the mouth.
Oh, mate, I hope you get a really good reward.
You'll get nothing, I guarantee you. It's me versus him.
This is a personal victory.
It is a personal victory. Where's the wee dog? Oh, she's there. Come on.
We should say that Ryan has a lovely pet dog called Ripley. And she's sleeping just now.
Yeah, because there's nothing going on. That's kind of how dogs function. If there's nothing going on, they go to sleep. Kind of like me. Maybe you can't kill this guy. Maybe you're just supposed to hit him to like get him to go away so you can cross.
Doesn't look like he dies, to be honest.
Okay, fine.
Don't fall in.
Yeah.
Don't fall in.
Oh. There we go. Finally.
God, that was so tense. I feel like we could maybe just cut out this level.
What,
or edit this together.
Ah, but wait. Oh, we talked about Stephen King.
That's true.
One of my favourite things to talk about.
Do you know I've never read a Stephen King novel?
You need to read a Stephen King novel.
Which
I think everyone should give Stephen King a go.
Which one? Which one do you recommend?
I've got a serious soft spot for him. I think he's criminally underrated. He's not going to make you re-examine your life or anything.
No.
But he is great at creating characters. He's a
craftsman.
Yeah, he is. He's a proper like popular fiction craftsman.
Yeah.
And yeah, and if you ever want, I know I say this to everybody, anyone who's listening will have heard this a gazillion times, and I'm sorry about that, but I'm not ashamed of it, is that if you ever want to do anything creative, you really should read On Writing by Stephen King.
Okay. As in it's non-fiction and it's...
Yeah, he got hit by a car basically, and he was in a really, really, really bad way in the late 90s. And when he got better, and I don't know if he was doing this while he was in hospital. For fuck's sake!
These guys are giving you real trouble. These egg bouncers.
Those are miniature Burts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if he did it while he was in hospital or while he was recovering or something, but he wrote this book about writing, basically, and half of it is sort of like an autobiographical kind of, this is how I got into horror, this is how my career went, which is interesting if you're into that sort of thing. I am. And the other half of it is just him giving actual useful advice on writing, rather than just like believe in yourself, something like vague like that. He's giving you like proper advice. It's just most people don't want to read it because they're like, what can Stephen King teach me about writing? And it's like, oh, he's the world's most successful writer, and he
churns books out like crazy.
Yeah, and he loves literature. He just doesn't write that kind of book, which is fine. I don't. Oh, here we go. This is Butler Bashful. So, like, every boss in the game basically is one of these little enemies that you'll have faced, and then the bad guy comes along and turns them into a giant version of that. Again, it was very impressive at the time that they could like scale sprites like this.
No.
The bosses are all really great.
Oh.
Every time you hit him, his trousers come down a wee bit.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, for God's sake.
Don't beat yourself up, it's fine.
I need to...
Get the egg, get the egg.
Get some more eggs.
I feel like we were having quite a serious conversation there for a second.
That's unlikely.
Then his trousers started coming down and we got totally distracted.
Well timed.
No.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's bashful. Oh.
Colours.
Well done.
Yay.
Nice. Cool, so...
I really hope this is all recording properly.
Oh my god.
That's fine. All we're doing is having a conversation.
Okay.
That was kind of the whole point of this, wasn't it? Is this Hop Hop Donut Lifts? Sorry, I love the music to Hop Hop Donut Lifts. Hop Hop Donut Lifts, yeah, I love the music to this.
Okay, let's listen. Oh.
It's like ragtime.
It's like, yeah, I was going to say,
Like
it's like the
Dixieland
doing the Charleston.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
So a Stephen King novel that you'd recommend?
Well, The Shining's extremely good, fuck.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Yeah, The Shining's great, and I don't like the movie, precisely because I read the book first, and I was like, this is so dumb.
Really?
Oh god, it's so dumb.
No, really?
Yeah, and that's coming from someone who read the Stephen King book. I mean, Stephen King's full of incredibly dumb stuff, like, evil cars, and I think one was an evil washing machine.
No,
yeah,
really?
It was called The Mangler, and
no,
I was never quite sure if he was just really high on coke when he wrote it.
No, honestly?
Yeah, or
Dear
if
me.
he, like, it was intentionally a joke. Like, he might have been taking the piss a little bit with that one. But yeah, it was called The Mangler. It wasn't very
Maybe
good.
it was an exercise or something, like how scary can I make a domestic object?
That's the kind of thing he would do, actually. Because, I mean, he's all about, he creates the most amazing characters. And what he does is he creates a character and then puts them in a situation and then writes how he would like them to get out of the situation.
Okay.
He doesn't come up with a plot. Like the character's going to go here and they're going to do that, and the whole point of this is they're going to do this. He doesn't do it like that. He creates interesting characters and puts them in a situation, and then like the story just sort of writes itself from that point. I think the example he uses is Gerald's Game. which I think they made a movie out of recently.
Is that a Stephen King book?
Yeah, so
Okay.
Gerald's getting... I've read a wee bit of it. I didn't really like it, to be honest. And
Uh-huh.
it's basically this woman and her husband have kind of an unhappy marriage,
Uh-huh.
and the kind of spark's gone out of things.
Okay.
And they decide to like take a trip to like a cabin,
Uh-huh.
and they're having sex, and like he's got into this whole sort of like BDSM type thing.
Oh, okay.
And she sort of like went along with it at first because like him being enthusiastic was a nice change of
Uh-huh.
pace, you know, and she went along with it at first, but after a while she was like, I actually don't like this.
Yeah.
It's kind of degrading, you know,
Uh-huh.
and stuff like that. And like he gets sort of like quite forceful about it and makes her really uncomfortable. And she ends up kicking him in the balls, and he has a heart attack and dies.
Oh my god.
But she's still tied up.
No,
And
really?
she's in the cabin, and there's nobody around.
Wow.
So the whole book, I think, is just her like tied to the bed, like trying to escape and stuff. And the horror comes from like, what would you if you were in that
Yeah,
situation,
yeah.
you know, that kind of thing. And I think I'm gonna die. Oh no! Oh, so close! It's the end of the level
I
as well.
know. Oh, man.
Oh, at least I got the middle ring. That's fine.
Okay, whew.
Um,
That was exciting. The part of the Stephen King story as well.
Yeah, so
That is kind of mad, but you
It
didn't
is.
like the story, you didn't like the book
I
or the
didn't
writing.
like it enough to
or-
continue
Yeah.
reading it. But that's kind of an example of his attitude, like his approach to writing books. It's like,
Uh-huh.
well, I've got this interesting character of, I don't remember the main
Oh, like
character's name.
relatable domestic situation
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, like written. Oh, fucking died again. Written in such a way where you can like totally sympathise with this woman, you know.
Yeah.
And then puts them in a situation of you're tied to a bed in a cabin in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Put
You know.
yourself into this insane situation.
Yeah, and that's just how like he doesn't have a plot. He doesn't start at thinking, well, this is going to happen, then this is going to happen.
Uh-huh.
Another great example that people are probably a lot more familiar with is Misery.
Okay,
It's like, what
yeah, I
would
saw the
happen-
film.
What would happen? The film wasn't bad actually. What would happen if a famous writer was kidnapped by a crazed like fan?
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Donkey.
And inevitably what happens is that you end up with a lot of books where you've got these great characters in a somewhat interesting situation,
Uh-huh.
but the whole thing just turns out really boring. But
Like as in storyline wise, or
yeah.
interesting premise, but
Interesting premise, not great.
there's too much reliance on perhaps like the vehicle. I don't know, you know, this system of working like, oh well, I've got this element, I've got that element, therefore the story will write itself. But
Yeah,
but
and
he's how many books has Stephen King written though in this?
somewhere in the region of 40, I think.
Yeah,
Which is a
ridiculous
insane
amount.
But yeah, the problem with The Shining was that the whole point of that book is that it's about this alcoholics.
It's music.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it's about
It's about an alcoholic. It's about this alcoholic sort of descent into madness through isolation
Yeah.
in this place that may or may not be haunted.
Uh-huh.
Whereas you watch the movie and it's like Jack Nicholson is just fucking crazy from
Yeah.
the start. He's
Yeah.
insane. And it's like, well,
like his
where's
wife
the-
would not like go with him
Yeah,
to
like where's the tension in this? You know, you're supposed to see him be like a nice guy who's trying his best and then slowly become like a monster.
yeah,
If he's a monster from the start, there's no tension.
I suppose so.
You know?
Oh well, I enjoyed it. I
I
enjoyed
know
the film.
loads of people enjoyed it. It's just, I don't know. I thought it was really cheesy, to be honest with you. Like beautiful camera work and everything, but like, yeah. I mean, I thought the book was good. And a lot of Stephen King stuff makes a lot more sense and is more enjoyable when you know a little bit about his life as well. You know, like for example, Misery. He was like really, really bad into like coke and alcohol and speed at the time. So for him, writing Misery was basically Annie Wilkes, the crazed fan who holds the author captive, is essentially his drug addiction.
Oh,
You know, so
okay.
it's the drug addiction. I'm your biggest fan. You know, keep doing the same thing. Keep doing the same thing because
Yeah.
that's what Annie Wilkes wants. I can't remember the character's name.
I wouldn't know.
Oh yeah, what was the character's name? I feel like I should remember it. Anyway,
You could do an edit fact check.
yeah. Do you want to pick
That one.
this one?
Yes. I don't understand.
Yeah. What
What's-
happened to your luck?
It's all gone. Ran out a long time ago.
This is a great one.
So,
Do
So anyway, what were we talking
Try
about?
guys on stilts.
Alcoholics, do drug addiction, do.
In this level, they've all got little stilts.
Oh, cute.
That they all walk on. This is the great thing about this game, is like basically every level has like something new for you to enjoy.
It's totally lovely.
Can you get over there? I don't know. Have I ever tried that?
Boing.
You can. Yay! Magic.
Is this totally new to you?
No,
just that?
I'm sure I've seen it before, but like I said, I haven't played this game in ages. What's this? Yellow legs create coins.
Legs.
Yellow legs.
Yellow legs.
Yellow eggs create coins. Red eggs create 2 stars. Flashing eggs.
Flasking eggs?
Flasking eggs.
Oh, flash.
Hit an enemy to receive these prizes. Okay, let's give it a go.
Dong.
That was a green egg. Fuck it. Just go.
So,
I think
what
this might be
happened there?
I think this might be an underground level, actually.
Okay.
Which I don't like, because the music's so grim.
Well, we need to talk about something grim then, to go along with it.
What's
Well, let's
grim is
continue.
having a party, and you sort of are in the kitchen,
Uh-huh.
because that's where the food and drinks are being
Yeah.
served and all that kind of thing. And then more and more people come by, and they're like, "Oh, I'll go into the kitchen because that's where everyone is." And before you know it,
Yep.
you've got about 40 people in your kitchen, and nobody wants to move to the rest of the flat. And you don't really want to be the kind of person that's like, "Can everyone just
Shift the party
can
along.
everyone move?"
I know.
We're all really cramped in here.
Is that what happened at Thanksgiving?
Probably. It happens every time. You also obviously...
Is that miserable? What?
I find it miserable. You also inevitably end up with... like a bunch of people are like, let's just move through to the living room, and then, everyone will move through with us and nobody moves through with them.
Oh.
You end up with the party going on in the kitchen,
no.
and then 4 people in the living room quietly talking
Yes.
amongst themselves.
This sounds a bit like someone's written their dissertation on it in like sociology
Oh yeah?
or something. No, I don't know. I just know like 1 or 2 people that are studying sociology at the moment, and I mean I know it's about like 10,000 times more than this, but one of them said, "Oh, do you know what I find fascinating? You know how when people like speed up and slow down when they walk next to each other in the street,
Yeah.
like strangers?" And I was like, "No, I don't know what you mean." But obviously, like that is a thing. Don't get me wrong. But I was like, I don't find that fascinating. Do you find it fascinating?
No. Don't find it interesting at all.
No.
It's like,
I mean,
it's
that's-
like a quirk of human behaviour.
Yeah.
There's a bit of fun that comes in observing it, but I don't necessarily know what to do with the information.
No. I think that's why we're not sociologists.
Yeah, probably.
Perhaps. It takes all sorts, eh?
It does.
Anyway,
Then again, I do philosophy, and I know a lot of
Yeah.
people that really don't give a shit about it.
no.
And I don't blame them, to be honest.
Don't get me started. Scottish literature.
Oh, yeah?
No, I really like it, but I mean, I don't know. It's obviously like one of those things. So like loads of people are like, why? what are you gonna do with your life? And you're like, well, lots of things actually. And then, but I still work in a cafe, so
But does very good bread.
it's delicious. Yeah, don't get me wrong.
So if you guys want some delicious bread,
I know. Don't come in because I hate customers. So I'm not gonna tell you where I work.
I hope no one from your work listens to this.
But I love my, colleagues, my cafe colleagues. They're lovely people.
So that great classic line from a not classic movie, Clerks.
Oh yeah,
I was
that.
like, this job is great for going for the fucking customers.
Yeah, no.
Because Randall's got that funny voice. The funny voice where he talks like this.
Clerks, was that what? Silent Bob? Jay and
Yeah.
Silent Bob.
Yeah, that was the first movie.
Wow,
He
I've
made
not
it when he was like 23 or something.
God, I've never
and
made a movie.
He took out he took out credit cards.
Yeah,
Like just racked up $20,000
No.
worth of debt and credit cards to make this
it's
movie.
insane.
And then they showed it at a this is the one where you get really high.
Okay, I look forward to it.
Touch fuzzy, get dizzy. I don't know what that is.
Okay.
And he racked up all this debt and then showed it at a local film festival.
Uh-huh.
And like 2 people showed up, and
Oh,
he
no.
started there thinking, oh my god, I just
Yeah.
took on $20,000 worth of debt.
$20,000 isn't a lot to make a movie.
No, it's not.
Uh-huh.
But it's a lot for somebody who
Has no money.
has no money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think they ended up taking it to a different film festival, and it was like something like it was a similar idea, but then one person saw it who had some connections and was like, "Oh, would you like to like show this elsewhere?" And then they sort of like wrote a they
you
wrote a
lost the
description.
baby. Sorry.
Oh God, that's horrible.
I know. Sorry.
I'm sorry, Yoshi. I lost the baby. And then they wrote this like really interesting description of it in the program that made it sound much better than it was, and ended up getting bought by Miramax.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's the moral? You can be lucky
You can be lucky.
if the right people are around.
The fuck? Do not. I think Kevin Smith always gave the advice: do not take out $20,000 of debt just to make your crap movie.
Oh.
Like, he got lucky. He does not expect anyone else to get that lucky.
Yeah. Well, so recently for the Edinburgh Festival, I went
There's
with...
Fuzzy. Do you see how it looks kind of like a dandelion?
Ah.
Right. Okay. Let's touch one. You see this?
It kind of looks... Oh. You're right.
Oh, Yoshi is really
That's
tripping.
Totally acid.
And it messes up your controls and everything.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh no!
No, not again!
You know they put that piranha plant. No! Oof, that was close.
Okay, so stop taking acid.
I mean...
Just wait until the effects wear off. Just sleep for 12 hours. Don't do anything stressful. No. They're like sea anemones.
Anemones.
Anemone.
There we go.
Okay. Anyway, so for the Edinburgh Festival in the summer, I went to see with my friend. She bought... I didn't choose them, but she really likes sort of puppetry, I suppose. She's got an interest in these like contemporary puppet things. And we went to one that was like... Do you know, I can't remember anything. I can't remember the name of the thing. I can't remember the name of the company. They were American. And it was very cool, but it was like, you know, those overhead projections.
Mm-hmm.
But they used them really creatively, and it was all kinetic. And yeah, I'd highly recommend it once I find out the name, which is probably something like Moving Cinema.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Is there any other type of cinema?
You're right. Anyway, whatever that was, we can also leave some space to do an edit. There we go. So...
And... Go.
So... Oh man, I need to practice. We should really do some discussion of what we're going to talk about before these things.
That was never the point though, was it?
No. Anyway, so we also went to this very, like, weird underground theatre which was showing enormously traditional, like, Chinese mask.
Mm-hmm.
No, I lie. It's puppets again. I'm totally getting mixed up with kabuki.
Everything is puppets.
Yeah, but you know, like those shadow puppets that are on the screens.
Yeah. Shadow puppetry, yeah.
Complete, you know, art, like lost art, ancient Chinese
Secrets.
secrets.
Ancient Chinese lore.
No, but
Magic.
so they tried to do.
Oh, gee, fuck off.
I know.
Hello.
So they did a new one, like an up-to-date, like contemporary version, and it was really, I have no idea what the storyline was, but it was very cool, again. But their whole point was, I think they spent so much money coming to the Edinburgh Festival, you know, doing this run of like 30 days non-stop, just really small cast, really small production, because they were like, maybe one person will be here who knows stuff about this and wants to take this further and wants to sort of popularise this in the West, and you know, who knows. But I think that's what a lot of the Edinburgh Festival is, isn't it? People just being like, this could be my big break.
Yeah, that's kind of depressing, isn't it?
It is a bit depressing. But it's life, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't imagine going through life thinking that every sort of like positive positive movement forward was like my big break.
Or like based on... Yeah, I suppose so.
Like this is it,
Well, maybe people talk about that retrospectively, though. Like that, looking back, that was something, you know.
Yeah, they were like, I had no idea at the time, but that would then go on to, dictate how the next 10 years went. I mean, that's kind of what happened to me with moving to Glasgow. I moved to Glasgow on a whim, a practical stranger. Really.
Was it Chris?
Yeah.
Oh,
and then
nice.
That ended up dictating the next 10 years of my life.
Yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't have met Rebecca if I hadn't done all of that. So.
Or me.
Or you, yeah.
And look at us now.
Really making the best of our time. Oh, jeez.
I think it was a great move, frankly.
Yeah, well, of course I do. But I hate this shit. Right, okay. Knock that round.
Yep.
And knock it round again. And you can get here, and I need to get into there because that flower pot's got a key in it. But I don't know.
The music is like torturous.
It sounds. Oh, that's what I need to do. Tricky. It sounds almost like the Harry Potter theme.
Oh yeah.
Not at this point.
But I know what you mean. Like, I can't even sing over this, can I?
Right. So yeah, do that and leave it as it is.
I see.
And then you come back, and that's
well done.
Bad. Right, let's get key in it. Done.
Nice.
This part.
Kind of, but just wonky as hell. Not as polished as the finished Williams version.
I prefer the original Williams. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, no.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Yeah, no, this is just going from bad to worse. I've been watching a YouTube channel recently called Sideways. Okay. And it's this guy who just talks about movie soundtracks and analyzes them and things. Really, really interesting stuff. Thoroughly recommend it if you've got even a passing interest in music.
What?
Back to the beginning again.
Okay.
But the thing is, he always uses John Williams as an example, just because everybody's really familiar with John Williams themes, and I have this fear that my neighbours think I'm obsessed with Star Wars or something, because like at least twice a day they'll hear the Star Wars theme.
Yes. And that is not the kind of, I don't know, you would never put it on at a party, I'm assuming.
No, this isn't gonna work. Come on, just come back this way. Come back this way.
Oh my god, I'm so stressed. It's fine.
No.
Oh my god, I'm so stressed out by this.
No. I'm trying to do this to save time, and I don't think it's working.
What's the thing? Do it right, do it once.
Measure twice, cut once.
Yeah. It's fine.
Shortcuts make long delays. There's one.
Oh.
But Strider's shortcuts... What was it? Strider's cuts, short or long, don't go wrong.
Don't go wrong, yeah.
Lots of those little like rap battles in Lord of the Rings.
Would you call them a rap battle?
What was it? Yeah, what was it? There's the bit where they're on Carathras in the snow. And it's like the wolf one fears is worse than the wolf one hears.
Oh god, all that stuff. Yeah, exactly.
And then one of them's like, that is true, but where the wolf where the wolf howls, the orc also prowls.
Yeah, this is like Gimli, like, this is dwarvish lore.
Yeah.
And then Gandalf's like, nah.
No.
You don't know what you're talking about, mate.
That's such a funny book. Alright, this is the World 1 boss.
I feel out of practice. Out of Lord of the Rings practice.
Where's that book? You've got that amazing, like, rare book.
An atlas. A
No,
Middle-earth atlas.
The quiz book from the 70s.
Is that rare? I suppose I've never seen it
before,
anywhere else.
And I've never heard of it since.
It is basically... Yeah, so it's my dad's. Yeah. And it's just the most obscure. Like, you know, I thought I knew quite a lot about Lord of the Rings. And Chris was like, yeah, you do know a lot about Lord of the Rings, but then when you read this quiz book, you get maybe like one right out of every 150 questions.
Yeah,
it's so hard.
It's really hardcore.
Much like this big blob. It's very scary.
And really cute at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, it's supposed to be like a kid's story. Whoa. No!
Ryan, I'm going to have to get a glass of water.
Yeah, we're almost finished.
Oh, right, okay.
The first world, because I
Cool.
really desperately need the toilet.
This has been quite like a base conversation because you've been burping quite often. I
think sometimes I
noticed.
forget that I do that, and I'll be like in a nice restaurant, and I'm like, and I'm like, did you hear that, Rebecca? And she'll just be looking at me
Like,
horrified.
Ferocious.
And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, I'm not at home. This is considered rude.
Why
And
do
there
you
we go.
guys often have like a 7-course dinner?
Yeah, tasting menu.
Tasting menu for dinner.
And there we go, that's the first world of Yoshi's
Hooray.
Island. I can't remember how many of them there are. There you go, that's you going
That was great.
into the next
Well,
world.
that's been a lovely time
Had by all.
had by all. Thanks for listening.
My big Y flag. Yeah. Alright. Catch you guys next time then.
Bye bye.